Our region's business is sponsored by PNC for the achiever in you.
And we're back with Bill Peduto, Mayor of the City of Pittsburgh, talking resilience. We talked about bus rapid transit and the potential there. Another big announcement this past week was one from the Allegheny Conference about a much broader vision for transportation in the region. So much of resilience really is about infrastructure and flexible infrastructure to be able to connect everybody here.
Right, and it was Chris Sandvik from PCRG that said housing, jobs, affordability, all are connected by the glue, which is transportation, of how you get all of these things to happen. And the fact of the matter is we haven't had a vision for transportation since the 1950s, when we were building the bridges, the Fort Duquesne and the Fort Pitt and the tunnels, and building out a
the
whole
parkways coming into town. And yeah.
So by pulling together in the conference organizing between all of the counties around, going out to the stakeholders and getting input, we now have a plan of, if we implement these 50 different opportunities, we can see not just economic growth happen, but quality of life be improved for people all throughout southwestern Pennsylvania.
And everybody needs to go check out their website. I think it's regionaltransportationalliance.org. It is the coolest interactive mapping thing for the whole region that brings it all to life. And it asks
people, what's your opinion?
Yeah, so it's really cool. But we talk about this, talk about quality of life. The other issue that arose this week and that has been in the news is the whole issue of lead in the water. Yeah. And you can't be a resilient city if you can't deliver clean water to everybody.
Right. We realize we're dealing with a problem that's 40 years, 50 years in the making without proper maintenance. And it's going to take at least a decade to solve the whole problem. But at the meantime, we have to make sure that grandma and the kids and everybody else, when they go and turn on that water faucet, are going to be guaranteed that the water's safe. And the only way to do that on an immediate basis is to use filtration. There's 5,330 water systems right now in the country that don't meet federal guidelines. We're one of them.
Okay.
It's not just Pittsburgh and Flint, as some people have said, but that filter is out of cost for a lot of people. So People's Natural Gas, their President Morgan O'Brien, called this week and said, we want to help. And we're willing to help to finance getting everybody in the city free water filter, and helping all the public buildings, our schools, our rec centers, our senior centers, point of entry filtration system as well. So People's put up 500,000, we put up 250,000, PWSA put up 250,000. That's how you solve a problem with teamwork. That's the resiliency issue. And that's what we're going to be doing over and over again, whether it's affordable housing or pre-K education or an aging infrastructure.
It's interesting. We started the program today with a guest from Comcast talking about their build out of their broadband network in the Golden Triangle, and they made an investment over at Nova Place to provide free Wi-Fi to the neighborhood. Another example here. So I take it somehow Uber and the self-driving cars and Delphi and all the others all fit into this in some way too.
Without a doubt. Yeah? Without a doubt. And Ford and Argo AI have already talked to us about how they can start to become more of a community player. The idea that we're going to be able to solve the problems of today by going to Washington or going to Harrisburg are long gone. The way we're going to solve the problems of today is by working together. And that means corporate, that means institutional, nonprofit, foundation, and government working on a vision and getting it done.
Well, when you think about it, that's been the Pittsburgh story for 75 years. There was no federal EPA. There were no federal housing programs or policies in the 1940s when folks here, Mayor Lawrence, R.K. Mellon, we all know the stories, they just decided we can do better and we're going to do it ourselves.
We're going to do it ourselves. The 1980s, there were no federal bailouts. We did it ourselves. So now it's our turn, and we have to be able to build those partnerships between government and all the other institutions to do it ourselves once again.
Now, are there ways for folks to get, and we talked about the Regional Transportation Alliance, you can find out more on their website, when you talk about the resilience strategy, if people really want to be actively involved in some way, or are there ways for them to do it?
And the first step is to go to the website, and there are going to be opportunities for people to pick what issue they want to be able to get involved with. So right now, Fourth Economy is working on basically the financial checklist. What would it cost to guarantee that every 3 and 4-year-old in the city of Pittsburgh has access to quality pre-K education. What would it cost? Well, we know what it costs to have a trust fund for affordable housing that is supplemented each year with $10 million more. And then we go to find the partners to help us to be able to do these things. Green infrastructure, all the different issues that basically look at the city and its challenges. And the biggest one that we have right now is disparity between the haves and the have-nots, much like we had 100 years ago, and the difference based upon race for opportunity in the city.
Sure. Bill Peduto, Mayor of Pittsburgh, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Again. Yeah. And we'll be back in a minute with a little dollars and cents. Stay with us.